Hey guys, Liam here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon WTF Moments. And yes, let's address the elephant in the room. I have a cold sore. It hurts. I don't like it, but it's there. According to the NHS website, cold sores can be triggered by illness, sunlight, or periods. So I'll leave it to you to decide. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think my cold sore was caused by illness, me being outside in the sunlight, or by me menstruating? Let me know down in the comments. And of course, hit the like button if you enjoyed this series and you're ready for more WTF Moments. Let's go for 1,000 likes if we can. You've achieved it before, let's achieve it again. 1,000 likes on WTF Moments. Hit like right now. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe and please share this series with a friend. If you enjoy it, why not? Get more people into it. But without further ado, let's have a look at all the WTF Moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 29, the Punchy Pokémon. We start today's episode with the gang discovering what appears to be a wild Hitmonchan, and Ash tells Pikachu that if Pikachu defeats that Hitmonchan, he'll become the world champion Pokemon. Well, he won't, because a random wild encounter does not count as an official Pokemon World Championship, I'm pretty sure. Pikachu then has a vision of Hitmonchan absolutely battering the piss out of it and knocking it out. Mate, you're like level 60, have some confidence in yourself. I guess it doesn't help that Pikachu rarely gets to win important matches, since Ash just gets awarded gym badges for seemingly good behavior. Pikachu hides behind Misty because apparently he'd rather see a 10-year-old girl get punched in the face than take the punch himself. Bad Pikachu. Now, Ash trying to teach Pikachu the basics of boxing isn't the WTF moment here, since we don't really know much about Ash's hobbies outside of Pokemon, so he could be into it. What's weird is the music playing in the background all the way through this opening scene is the music that normally plays during the closing scenes when the narrator's kind of wrapping things up, and it doesn't help that the narrator is talking about Misty caught Psyduck and Brock got Vulpix, so it feels like I'm watching the end of the last episode and not the start of a new one. Go back and listen to it, it sounds really off. It really doesn't help that the title card of the episode doesn't have the usual music, it just has the ending of the previous scene's piece of music. It's really weird. We don't like change here, thanks. Ash sends out Pikachu, who's wearing boxing gloves that he got from Arceus knows where, to fight Hitmonchan, but insists on him using boxing moves like jabs and uppercuts. You know, the kind of moves that Hitmonchan could easily avoid. Use Thunderbolt, you daft cunt. Pikachu uses Rocket Punch, which A, isn't a move, and B, apparently involves Venom Snake-style detachable rocket arms that are somehow still attached to him after visibly flying away from him. What is this bollocks? It turns out Hitmonchan has a trainer who turns up and starts pronouncing his name
Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan.
That's gonna get old really fast. Also, good lord,
the stereotyping's strong with this one.
Hitmonchan finally fights back and absolutely destroys Pikachu. Not really a WTF moment, just well deserved for all that rocket punch bollocks. The signature celebration this guy and his Hitmonchan have is just super half-arsed. 1, 2, 3, hooray! At least try and sound a little bit enthusiastic. I thought voice acting was supposed to be a difficult profession to get into, but this guy makes it sound like literally anyone off the street could become one. This guy's daughter, Rebecca, turns up and begs her father to come home, but he says he's not going to come home until he wins the P1 Grand Prix. So you're telling me this guy never goes home, so he doesn't eat or sleep at home, he eats and sleeps at the gym even when the Grand Prix isn't running. Honestly, that to me screams more problems at home than just I can't win a Pokemon tournament. Note to all impressionable young men watching this: when a girl is visibly distressed by an ongoing family issue, getting all up in her face about how helpful you can be and trying to be a knight in shining armor doesn't come across as attractive. It comes across as gross, spotty, and smelly, which, let's face it, you probably are. Surely the Fighting-Type Pokémon exclusive tournament, the P1 Grand Prix, has to be a reference to the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1, right? If it isn't, please educate me in the comments, or make up some bullshit reason just as an excuse to post a comment. Let's game the algorithm. You get extra points for creativity if you don't use slurs or stereotypes. Rebecca asks Ash and Co if they could beat her dad's Hitmonchan so then her dad will come home, even though her dad said he won't come home until he wins the P1. So if he loses against Ash, Misty or Brock, he won't be winning the P1 and therefore won't come home. This plan's a whole mess. Brock says to Ash, don't you have a fighting type Pokemon you can use? And Ash asks, what are you talking about? He's on about Primeape. Guys, this is Ash Ketchum, who wants to be the world's greatest Pokemon master, yet he can't even keep tabs on the types of the 6 Pokemon he's traveling with. twat. Direct quote from Ash.
Yeah, Primeape should be able to do the job.
No, Ash, in wrestling terms, doing the job means losing to your opponent. If you want Primeape to beat Hitmonchan, you want Primeape to go over, not do the job. Direct quote from Brock.
And I've got Geodude.
So what? Geodude's not a fighting type. This tournament's exclusively for fighting type Pokemon. There's no way it can enter. Team Rocket want to get their hands on the P1 championship belt so they can sell it, but they don't seem to realize that split 3 ways, it's probably only worth like 10 grand. Which I'd never say no to, but let's face it, it's not enough to live off, so let's calm down, guys. Oh look, fan service for all you cartoon women aficionados. I'm just going to spruce this up a little, make it a bit more my taste. Much better. So in order to enter the fighting type only tournament, that Brock's Geodude definitely will not be allowed to enter since it's not a fighting type, Team Rocket kidnapped some guy that was walking down the street with a Hitmonlee, tie him up, steal his clothes, have Hitmonlee safely inside its Pokeball, and my question is, how? Like, Hitmonlee wasn't in its Pokeball before, so why didn't it put up a fight? It's known in the area as the Kicking Fiend. It could have easily taken out Meowth and probably Ekans and Koffing as well, so how did it get beat? Well, they've only gone and done it. They've only gone and let bloody Brock in this twatting tournament with his bastard Geodude. It's not even a fighting type. It's a fighting type only tournament. Screw this bollocks, I'm out.
Well, I don't usually do this bit, so I don't really know. Oh no, a Machop. How unusual a Machop is here. Actually, Liam, can you come back? I don't really know what I'm doing.
Ignoring the fact that this Machop is battering Ash's Primeape, look how doughy it looks in its Pokedex entry. Like, the Machop they got to pose for this entry just really let itself go, didn't it? Direct quote from Ash.
Oh no, it's gonna toss Primeape.
Phrasing. After Ash saves Primeape by breaking its fall when it's thrown from the ring, Primeape realizes that Ash is his friend and that he finally wants to listen to him, and then Ash asks him to use Scratch. Why would Scratch be your first choice when you know this Pokemon knows Thrash? You could have at least gone for a stab move. I'll tell you what I could go for. Some G Fuel! This is Guava. This is Castro's flavor. Guava G Fuel is top tier. It's one of the best. I love this flavor. It's super refreshing, especially on warm summer's days. Oh, it's a bit good. And you can use code ACE right now for 30% off G Fuel until the end of July 13th, 2020. Get on it. Code ACE is everything you need and more. And it helps the channel, so, you know. Primeape finishes off Machop with a Mega Kick, and it just makes me wonder what trainer thought they'd enter the tournament with an unevolved Machop in the first place. Like, you know you're going to be up against Pokemon like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, so why not train a little harder and get yourself a Machoke at least?
Well, actually, Liam, there's already a Machoke in the tournament, so it'd be a little bit confusing to the viewer if there were two.
Firstly, spoilers, mate, come on. And secondly, I'm already confused. And what, you don't think kids know that there are more than one of each Pokemon species in the world? They let Geodude in the goddamn tournament, and no, I will not shut up about it. I'm still mad about it. It's not a fighting type Pokemon. Direct quote from the commentator.
Fans, Geodude is hard as a rock.
Of course it is. It's a rock type. Geodude gets absolutely destroyed by Hitmonlee, and Brock is forced to throw in the towel. Good. Good fucking riddance. What were you expecting to happen, Brock, you bellend? Oh, why you gotta do my boy Poliwrath dirty like that in the first round? This whole tournament's bollocks. I hate this show. The layout of this tournament really confuses me. Try and follow along. As far as I can tell from what we're actually shown in the episode, on one side of the tournament, Machoke beats Poliwrath and Hitmonlee beats Geodude. Hitmonlee then beats Machoke. On the other side, Primeape beats Machop and Hitmonchan beats Machamp. So why then does Primeape have to beat Machamp as well? It should have been up against Hitmonchan. And why does Hitmonlee have to face off against Hitmonchan for a place in the final when it's already won 2 matches? Ash's Primeape is announced as advancing to the final when it's only had 2 matches, and this match with Hitmonlee will only be Hitmonchan's second match in the tournament, so why does Hitmonlee have to win 3 matches to get to the final? Surely Primeape should have faced Hitmonchan, not Machamp, and the winner of that match should have gone on to face Hitmonlee in the final. Seriously, I've spent way too long trying to work this out. Please tell me where I'm going wrong. Anthony tells Hitmonchan to remember, you're a champion. Well, he's not. That's the whole reason you won't go home. Cool, these two are evenly matched. Could you imagine if there was like a third, more balanced version of these Pokemon? Direct quote from Anthony.
You gotta be strong. You gotta be smart. You gotta keep moving.
Because apparently he's channeling his inner Desiree. Meowth squirts glue through the underside of the ring, confirming that the writers of Pokemon don't understand that the ring mat is more than just the fabric cover. There are wooden boards under there, which is why the ring can take the weight of 400+ pound men without caving in. Also, how does nobody at ringside go,
Hey look, Hitmonchan's foot's stuck on something.
Brock tells Anthony this is dangerous and that he should forfeit the match right now. Pipe down, Brock, we know what your game is. You just don't want to be the only person in the tournament to throw in the towel, pussy. Rebecca runs into the ring to protect Hitmonchan from an incoming kick, so Anthony has to run in and take the kick himself to protect Rebecca, and then he throws in the towel, forfeiting the match for Hitmonchan. I don't know why he threw the towel in though, because Hitmonchan would have been disqualified anyway with all that interference. Team Rocket reveal themselves, phrasing, too early as always, and when Misty and Ash realize it's them, Jessie asks how they even guessed. Dude, James's head is like right there. After James almost passes out from carrying Jessie on his shoulders for too long, Team Rocket fully remove their disguise. And somehow nobody questions the fact that the trainer for Hitmonlee, who we know is known in the area because Hitmonlee has the nickname the Kicking Fiend, is somehow not present at the tournament. The poor guy's tied up in some bathroom somewhere and no one gives a toss that he's absent. Meowth set a trap that will electrocute Primeape and cause an explosion. The electrocution I can understand, but won't the explosion just be a little bit too suspicious? Not to mention, won't that potentially destroy the ring that Hitmonlee, who's jumped to avoid the electrocution, will have to land back down onto? I think it's really smart of Team Rocket to brand their company logo on their explosives. We wouldn't want them to lose it in the event of, you know, a terrorism investigation because of a large explosion. Hitmonlee jumps onto the ring post to avoid the impending electrocution, but arguably the ring post, a metal post, would be the worst place in the ring to jump to. I'm pretty sure the current would definitely run up the ring post. Primeape uses Seismic Toss on Hitmonlee and wins the P1 championship, but why is Brock in there celebrating like he was any help? He brought an illegal entrant to the tournament and still got battered anyway. He's got no business standing tall with the winner. Anthony tells Ash that his Primeape has a lot of natural fighting talent and asks Ash to let him train it for a while. He promises to turn it into a real P1 champion. The thing is, he's already won the P1 tournament for the P1 championship belt, so he's already a real P1 champion. That stuff gets written down, it goes in the record books. What Anthony's doing here is he's actually manipulating this impressionable 10-year-old into giving up his powerful Pokemon, so that Anthony can then profit off this Pokemon's strength. And of course Ash simply accepts because he doesn't know any better. We often give Ash a bad rap for giving up Primeape, but really he was tricked into it. Well, I mean, it is a wrestling episode, so I suppose someone had to turn heel.
And it turns out it was Anthony.
Pikachu gives Team Rocket's shock device back to Meowth, and for some reason when it activates, it shocks Jessie and James as well, even though they're not in contact with it in any way. That's not how electricity works, is it? Rebecca says she'll make sure her father spends plenty of time with his family. Mate, he just got over his obsession with wanting to make Hitmonchan a winner and now wants to focus on making Primeape a winner. He's literally jumped from one obsession to another. He ain't spending any time with his family anytime soon. His Hitmonchan's not even in the scene. He's lost interest in Hitmonchan because it's a loser, and he's convinced Ash to give him his Primeape because it's an officially recognized winner. Anthony's an arsehole. Pass it on. Ash tells Primeape it should keep training and winning and that he'll be grateful and proud to know a real P1 champion. Again, Primeape won the P1 tournament for the P1 championship belt. It doesn't need to keep training and winning to become a real P1 champion. It is a real P1 champion. Everyone says their goodbyes and then very quietly, Anthony just says,
This kid.
oh my god, he's such a cunt! He knows he duped this kid into giving up his most powerful Pokemon so far and is laughing as the kid walks away because he knows he just talked his way into an easy meal ticket. This man is bad news! We end on a direct quote from the narrator.
Just when they were beginning to understand each other, Ash and Primeape go their separate ways. Maybe they'll meet again someday. Somewhere.
Well, it's been 23 years and they've not reunited yet, so don't hold your breath, mate. So those are my WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 29, the Punchy Pokémon. Let me know your favorites down in the comments below and any that I've missed. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe if you're new. If you'd like to support the channel like these beautiful people here do, pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainLiam. And to save 30% off G Fuel till July 13th, use code ACE. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.